Hello, 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 and welcome to the last Season 1 episode of Beyond the Pitch. As always, I'm your host, Mark Vibe71, joined by my colleagues, co-hosts, the Italian Stallion, Alonzi himself.
Konnichiwa.
Okay. And our other co-host, he is back from work, as we missed him. You Want to Be Me So Bad, the now champion of Season 1.
Yeah, not a big surprise there.
And the cockiness is also back.
Yeah. Everyone wants to be him so bad.
Exactly.
Yeah, the first time I ever talked to Yuana, I told him his PSN was the creativity of a 12-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
Haters are my motivation,
Haters. I don't even want to get into this. Let's just bang out, and I just want to get to the Spurs. Okay, Season 1 came and went. No surprise. I want to go back really quick to when me and Alonzi first the first episode, and we had our predictions, and I remember mine pretty well. Alonzi, I don't know if you remember yours. Alonzi, you screwed up. Alonzi.
I said, what, City comes in second?
No, you said United.
No, I said City.
Yo,
You said City.
was it
you
City? I thought it was United.
No.
It's still just as bad.
I
United was second last.
had
Chelsea.
Bournemouth. Who did I have? I had Bournemouth, Chelsea, United, City, Leicester, Liverpool, Everton, Spurs. So I got the top four right at least. As the standings are, it finished Spurs, Everton, Liverpool, Leicester, City, Chelsea, Bournemouth, United. So I was pretty close. I take a lot of pride in getting, except for like Chelsea.
Yeah, you must be psychic.
Yeah, obviously. Yo, ESPN hit me up. I got those. I could predict it
I'm
anytime.
gonna call you Mark Cleo.
I have no idea who that is, but okay.
Miss Cleo. You don't remember Miss Cleo? Oh, come on.
No, is that the person with the commercials? Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
so real quick, let's just jump into some other things because it's kind of like a season wrap up.
Yeah.
Before we get into our team of the seasons, things like that, and talk about the Spurs. Obviously,
This is the awards show.
I'm pretty sure. Every team in here kind of had a turning point in the season.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So I kind of want to go over a couple of the turning points and we'll just talk about it.
All right.
Things
Yeah,
like that.
I like that. Let's just start from the bottom if we're
so-
going through turning points.
So
So let's just start with United and Thorpe, as we've talked about it.
We can start off with that. Obviously, United, sadly, their turning point was the fact that they had an owner who just had a love for NBA 2K and just crippled that team before it could even get started. Sad to see that happen, but at least they started showing up the games.
Give Try Hard a team next year. Simba and whoever's going to run it next season. If Jay Try Hard wants a team, he deserves one just as much as anybody else. So he absolutely deserves one. Okay, I want to get to Bournemouth because every time I talk badly about Justin B, he's always like, I'm not that bad of an owner. I'm only saying you don't deserve to be an owner next season, and why it was okay to you to be an owner this season was because you had your own you were able to start your own team. It wasn't like United, who finished below you, yes, but they had to pick it up through Thorpe's own team. That wasn't J Hard's team, that was Thorpe's team. You were able to create your own team, and you still only finished the season with 4 wins. Again, we needed owners for Season 1. I don't think Justin B's coming back, if I remember correctly, but if he does, I would not pick him as an owner. That's just my opinion.
Lonzy, if you
I would say the same thing. They fell hard and flat, and yeah, he didn't really do much well there, but they were falling apart from the beginning, and yeah, we got some good talent on the roster that could make other teams next season go for a good run, but I don't know.
I mean, the Unabomber, regardless if he's staying or not, gonna be a good player.
Forced, man. Yeah, he's got that 2-year.
Yeah, he's got that 2-year.
We actually tried to claim him on waivers, and then they pulled him back.
Oh, okay.
The big thing about Bournemouth, the issue I had with Justin was like, I mean, honestly, if you look at the ending to their season, the games were a lot closer. So you give them credit for that at least. I mean, most of their games were all 1-goal games. Give them a little credit for that. But dude, when they were getting like again, the turning point for me is like, dude, if you're on that team and your owner sitting there saying all you need is small changes and you're losing the games 5-6-7-0, like that's an issue. You should like be able to look back, take a step back, and be like, all right, we need to change some serious things, whether it's formation, whether it's players, positions, things like that. That's not a small change at that point. You know, that's
No.
and to me that was my issue with Justin as an owner. Like you have to understand when you need to make big changes,
Yep, I
not
agree with that.
small changes.
No, I felt like he was lazy, probably.
I don't think he was
Didn't care
lazy.
after the
I just
season.
think he was too naive and too much of
Delusional.
a delusional owner. He was too new of an owner, and that's the problem. Like, that's okay that season 1, but like now we're getting to season 2. We have hopefully a lot more signups, a lot more teams, and it just can't be a three-head horse race again. We need better owners. Someone's got to be pushed out, and I think it should be him. I don't think he's coming back, though. Now I'm trying to remember. There's just been so much going on in the owners chat. I think he said he wasn't coming back.
From what I heard, he's not going to be an owner, but he's still going to play.
He's still gonna, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. He's not a bad player. He's not like he has thumbs, but he's just not an owner. And that's okay. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think really that this team's gonna be totally different next season if they keep.
I hope Unibugs and Sparkplug run the teams together. I really do. I think
Yeah.
those two deserve to be on a good
core.
team. And I hope they do. If they don't, they don't. Whatever. But I hope somebody picks that team up and helps Una out and helps Sparkplug out and makes that team better than they are.
Yeah.
With that being said, if everything's done with that, just Chelsea. Yep. Chelsea can keep their ownership. They did just fine. The first week was great for them. You bring in Carlos. Now my question is, you're stuck with Carlos. Unless they give him GM and he loses that contract. I think that's how that works, Alonzi, if I'm correct, with NHL.
Yeah.
You give some.
I think so, yeah.
So you could get rid of his 10 mil, but then you have to build the team around Carlos at that point because obviously he came in and ruined for the most part, ruined that.
They're literally their Chelsea's turning point was the fact that they ruined their chemistry.
Yeah.
They started off good. They made like 2 big trades and then that was it. And then they honestly helped us win because, like, no offense to Demon, but our weak spot was just Demon's inconsistencies at the time at goal. So giving us flyers, like, their issues to me just seemed like, I mean, they didn't really. Again, I don't think they're really full FIFA players either. So they couldn't really tell talent in FIFA, and I think that was part of their issues because they gave away, you know, a better goalie through Demon, and then they brought in Carlos, who just ruined their chemistry.
And they never had like true defense. That was another huge thing.
No.
That I was talking to some Chelsea. I think I was talking to some Chelsea players, and they never had the only true defender they had was Flyers, and he was their goalie. So
yeah, the 1-man back line, just Flyers, just doing everything himself.
So you traded away your goalie and your defender. It's just.
Well,
nothing you could do.
Their goalies were treated like shit because they took a lot of shots every game.
Yep,
peppered, man.
It was like cross creases. Every cross in was headed on goal. It was horrible, you know.
Dude, he got lit up more than Rico did for the Hershey Bears in the playoffs. Like just backdoor one-timers everywhere, man. That's a nice little shot for those who don't get it at my team.
Well.
Considering half my team's the Hershey Bears.
I'm a goalie too in hockey, and there's times my D just left me to die. Just like, here you go, here's a free flight to Hawaii, and just fucking, right in the arse.
You mean like the Liverpool midfield?
Yeah, here we go. This is the official throwing shade shots fired podcast. This is it. We're spending it all out here, boys.
I don't know. That was. I didn't. That was actually really mean. I was on this.
Yeah.
I'm too nice, man. I'm too nice.
We can move on up to the young prodigy.
My man.
My main man, young Sheik. The prodigy of LG.
Himself, and he'll come back season 2. I think stronger than he was before. You learn from mistakes, and he'll come back. Hopefully, Hopefully B-Brawler. Is he under a contract? I don't even know City's team, like their contracts. Brucher's not staying, I know that. I don't think... Is B-Brawler an owner? I don't even know. No, he's not.
Little player tampering there, man. How do you know that, huh? Little might have to investigate this, Simba. Just saying,
What do you mean?
A little player tampering going on.
What do you mean Brooks isn't?
He's got the inside scoop.
You just go on the roster page and you look at the cards.
You don't know if they're gonna extend them. It seems like tampering, dude.
I forgot that they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This seems fishy, dude. We got to look into this.
Because
Deflategate.
Deflategate on
Deflategate, boys. But so no, yeah. So,
B-Brawler signed to a 2-year, so he's staying.
They're good. So, I mean, the thing about Sheik, I would say Sheik maybe. I know you're one of the few that kind of had a strategy going into like bidding. Everybody had strategy, but their strategy was basically just get certain players.
Yep.
From what we could tell, where we think Sheik was the person bidding against us, that Sheik kind of had like an internal cap per. You didn't want to pay so much per player, and I think that actually potentially could have like backfired a bit towards him, because there was some. There was like a drop off basically between some of the really expensive players to like the 4, 5, 6 mil players.
Yep.
Which at the time obviously people didn't really know. It was a new league, but I think that's something that Sheik will learn for. I think Sheik's got a pretty good idea of who's pretty good in the league, and him himself, he's a decent player, so he's pretty good. And they have some talent there. So I mean, look for the young Sheik to really clean up City next year, and they could definitely push top 4.
I mean, turning point was at going into week 3. I mean, he was losing games. I mean, he was only beating the crappy teams. I think the turning point actually, and understandably, was the game against the 2-0 against Leicester. They went to lose the next 3 games. That's okay because it was the eventual top 3 finishes. But that completely changed their season. They end up beating us again. And I mean, they beat Bournemouth. But they had a strong finish, and I think that was huge for Sheik, and they beat Chelsea at the end. I think that it was a forfeit win. But anyway, he had a strong finish, and I'm happy for him. I'm very happy for City, that management. At least they had a strong finish.
Yeah, I always said I had high hopes for them from the beginning, and they didn't do bad.
Second place.
That's still high hopes. That's better than us, and still is. But
I didn't have top 2.
Don't
start me.
We lost to them 2-1.
Don't start me, Alonzi, because I swear to God.
How do we lose? Last games, whatever. They were a great team. They're awesome. I think they're gonna do well next season. They'll be top 4.
Yep.
They get a few new players. Some of these new cats that are joining the league, they're gonna be like secrets. You're not even gonna know how good they are until you get them for 500K.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they do next season.
You have anything else to say on young man Sheik? You wanna?
He's the young goat, man. He's the young prodigy. That's all. Just you give the kid will get a championship in this league eventually. You just gotta give him time to figure it out. Sheik, the one thing I would suggest, man, is just shore up your team defense and goalie, whether that's with midfielders that are defensive minded or whatever, because your attack should be all right.
Yeah, if he's leading the charge, I think his attack will be just fine.
Yeah.
As we move on to Leicester, they're not coming back. They're not. The hockey and Sobo, they're just not. So
disgrace. Skip them.
Oh my God. The famous words of Sobo as he leaves the team chat is "suck my dick," and then he left. So
very mature of him, just very, very classy organization.
I like Sobo though. I don't know. Their players stopped showing up, and it just went downhill from there.
Well, we heard the last podcast with Big Lam. He said,
Lam explained everything we needed to know about that
everything,
team.
And we don't really have to say anything. We heard it.
So, I mean, shout out to everyone who kept showing up for them. That was really important. They got the games in that they needed, which is good to have, and hopefully next season, whoever picks up Leicester, or maybe they change the teams for Leicester, anyone who's left on that team will be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the most you could say. The turning point was when everyone stopped showing up. The biggest thing, I think, for them was when as Lamb said, that forfeit kind of broke the back. But that 3-0 loss to us, Alonzi, I think that was the turning point of their season. That 3-0 with the red card, that was it for that team.
Well, yeah, they ripped off 7 straight losses after that
Yeah,
game.
so
Yeah.
They had just going 4-1 in their last 5, and then all of a sudden it's just 7 straight losses.
Gonzo.
Yeah.
Gonzo. So that's the most I could say on them. Thank you for everyone on Leicester that kept showing up. Hopefully hopefully a good manager comes in and picks that team up or changes the team.
Yeah.
Um,
And if you don't want to show, don't sign up. Like I said last podcast.
yeah, that's right. If you don't want to show up, or if you make sure that your owners know that you can only make 2 games a game a week.
Yeah, don't crash.
Common sense on that one. Anyone else have anything to say before we move on to Liverpool?
Nah, I think we're good. So,
Does anyone want
all
to
good.
rant number 2? Because it's there.
Talking about Liverpool, we had Vibes' favorite team in history.
Liver choke.
But
I could rip this team.
So
you can go.
Before I get on to the turning point in your season, because I know it's going to be different than you guys, but I want to hear you guys go first, just to see what you guys say. Obviously, because I don't want to potentially sway an opinion.
I'll start.
Yeah,
if anything. Like I said before, I said in many podcasts, I don't really have to repeat myself, but you know what the problem was. Midfield was lackluster. Offense only, like, Navarro would shine against mediocre teams. And yeah, it was all about, so I'm not tooting my own horn, but I think I had a great season. Same with Tom when he finally came back with me. T-Man and Details and everybody that helped out. But man, with Vibes right there, he was a wall all season. I had lots of fun with you guys. You know I did. I love you all. But our mid, you guys should say, hey, maybe I got to fix some things for the next season, because that won't last, man. You got to actually start playing smart soccer. Enough of this, oh, hey, I'm going to get the ball and rush a through ball in the middle. And, oh, look, a cutoff, breakout. And it's always up to us to stop the ball. And nah. But I had a great season with you boys. I hope all is well for Voltage and everyone that goes on next season. And yeah, I didn't like that rage quit from Legal, and he still hasn't showed face since then. And that's a bitch move, kid. Come on, bro. You sucked that game. You suck it up, and you just say, "Hey, boys, I sucked," and you move on. You don't just rage quit and goodbye. We don't see you ever again. But yeah, that's it. Better luck. Best of luck next season, boys. I don't think I'll be here next season. And
You're not on a. I literally said this the first time. You're not on a 2-year. You're gone anyway.
I know. Yeah, but anything could happen, right? But we'll see.
Nothing can happen. We won't give you a contract extension. I'm just gonna get to this. Navarro and Yoshi, our 2 best players, got 1 goal and 1 assist versus the top 2 teams. Okay. So I'll just leave that there. That's where I'm not gonna get into a rant. The turning point in this season was when we drew 1-1 against the Spurs, and then we lost them again. Okay, just that first game. When we drew 1-1, and the only person that scored was Alonzi to save the game on a header, is enough said for me. Where the turning point is.
Which is a game, of course, that I wasn't in.
Yep. Like I said.
I wasn't in either of them, and again, just bring that up. And then they also, again, I watched that replay just to see how the team was playing.
They outplayed us.
Yeah.
So,
but to me,
hold on. Let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to make this because I'm an owner, because I was management, and I've always, when I picked up NHL teams, I always wanted to make it fun for the players. I'm glad we got to play the last game of the season, even though that we didn't have a chance of winning. Thank you for the guys that showed up. Thank you for Voltage for letting me be your AGM. Thank you for Akon of doing the stats with me. They were a great combo. I will not be returning to Liverpool next season. I've pretty much made up my mind. Just move that away. I know Navarro and Yoshi are on 2-year contracts, so I'm pretty sure they're going to be staying. So that team, if Voltage stays, will probably have the same type of players. So, great season to Liverpool. They just, like I said last podcast, they choked it, and nothing you could do about it. So, all to you. You want to.
So I think, honestly, the turning point in your season was moving Soccer back to play center back with you guys and taking him out of the midfield where he was originally. Like, I know it was done pretty early, but I think that was something that was huge to give Alonzi and you somebody else to just make sure that was 100% like
It's a good one.
a surefire rock at the back. Because
Well,
even though you already had Vibes and you had Alonzi, the fact that you brought in another good center back allowed like you guys to skate by a lot of the year on your midfield and attacking weaknesses. Because if you remember, like when we played you in the preseason and things like that, and even the earlier game, the first time we played you in the year, when that wasn't the case, we were able to put numbers up on your back line because we understood that there was a weakness. Not on the whole back line, but we could at least get through the back line. As it went on later on, the games I watched, obviously, yeah, we might have had the better chances, but even when Alonzi and Soccer had numbers coming at them, they do a very good job of taking away angles for Vibes.
They were the two of them. That was really good. I didn't even think of that, and I'm sorry to snub Tom like that, but that was huge. Moving Tom back there, that was actually really, really smart because we went on 6 games a whole week without conceding a goal. So
exactly.
that was
the
huge.
best week.
That was the best week.
That was our best week, and we should. That's where we had to move on the next week and continue doing, and that's when we choked it, like you said.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
no, that was that was good. I'm sorry I forgot you suck on that one, but that was a really good turning point. You're right. That really gave a ton of confidence, especially as a goalie. The first thing you need to have is confidence because 95% of the time, versus good players, it's just a straight guessing game. It's a 50-50 shot. They're going to go left or they're going to go right. And if you don't guess the right way, or even if you rely on holding your L1, most of the time versus players like Dell, Twisted, Sizz, you're going to lose that. You're going to lose that battle because it's just how the game works. So you have to leave it up to you pretty much, if you trust your defense and yourself.
That's the big thing. I think once you finally had the trust of the full back line, Like, you already
absolutely.
trusted Alonzi, but once you got that other center back down, it was just a big difference.
Yep, absolutely.
It really was.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So,
Yeah.
Alonzi, you have anything else to say on the boys?
I just want to end it with I want to shout out to T-Man for sticking in as a TC every game, being in our dressing room half an hour early, waiting for us and like wanting to play. And
yeah, those are the type of players that.
What really pissed me off was why wasn't he on our roster?
I mean, I pushed for him, but again,
all season he should have been. Only defense we had on the roster was me, technically on the roster, but.
But I mean, Tom stepped up and Kane stepped up too. I mean, people had to step up, even though they didn't want to necessarily. But people did the right thing for a back four, and it's fine. I can't get mad at the back four.
No,
so
I even give I'll give Kane and Yoshi and Dai that when he could play his dues, they did very well when they played. But in the end, we were pretty mediocre in that middle. Yeah. The offense couldn't do nothing because of the middle, getting them balls, and whatever.
Yeah.
Good season.
You have anything from the champions' point of view?
I just nah. I mean, we're talking about turning points. I won't go in any depth.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Thank you, everyone on Liverpool. It was a pleasure playing and sharing the same pitches, you guys. Let's get
so
to
fun. We had so much fun. They're leaving the team. That's how much fun they had playing with you guys.
Wow.
All right, so on to Everton. Second place finishers.
And then if you want to take this as your part, I mean, take it away. I'll just sit back. All right. Peace out, Liverpool. See.
Hey, stop digging our hole.
Everton's, their turning point. It's tough, man. They were just solid all year, but if I remember right, I think they moved Curl to the back line early, similar to what you guys did to Soccer. If I do remember that right, because I think he was playing forward the first couple games.
No, since game one. No. It was Go Hawks going back. It was Go Hawks. He had Go Hawks. I think is a natural midfielder, more of an attacking player in my opinion. But he stepped up and played with Curl. And that became a really nice duo for them. Really nice duo. So
I was playing Curl the other day, and he's a striker. He straight up told me. He said he had to play center back just due to just having to play center back.
Yeah.
So then if from what you just told me, the turning point there is obviously just Go Hawks and Curl just being unselfish and just doing the better for the team. Mm-hmm. Because they both, like you said, being attacking minded players, of course they're going to want to be in the attack. There's multiple times in this season where they probably felt they could do better than their attack in certain situations, but to just be that unselfish and throw the team first. That's why Everton looked like they just had extremely good chemistry as a team.
They did.
Honestly.
I just seen their mid was awesome all season. They had
the next best thing in towards of like pairing up player to player against the Spurs in the midfield, which is important. It's huge. Midfield is probably the most important thing in soccer. I mean that whole midfield having Twisted, Semple, the silent one in my opinion. I mean Timor really needs to work on his defense, but that's okay. He did fine on the attack. I mean, you guys traded him Zeus. You guys traded him Zeus.
Oh yeah, dude. Dude, that had to. I mean,
that helped them.
Then, I mean, they demoted him to right back. I don't really know how much it helped in the long run, but you know. But if you want to go to a specific game, the turning point in their season is actually a loss. Because if you look at that, they got crushed 5-1 by Chelsea, then didn't lose a game the rest of the year. They drew you guys twice, and that was it.
All season, we drew.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, like, if you look at week 1, they had 2 losses. They lost to us, and then they lost to Everton 5-1. After that Everton 5-1 loss in the first week, they did not lose a game for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
They drew twice, and that was it. And they literally, so their turning point, you obviously have to go to that game. Whatever it was that game that they sat down, whether they just threw the game out or whatever, or they adjusted off of it, that was their turning point.
Yeah, it's also, I think it was they did, excusing the last game, which had whack lineups, and I don't want to get into that. Don't even get into that, because I was just going to, but
No.
The fact that, they were 3 points necessarily, say they won that game, whatever, they're still going to lose on goal differential because of that draw versus us, regardless.
Yeah.
That 5, looking hindsight 2020, that loss did kill them, but I think it was their inability to put up goals against a lot of goals against us, and like was a killer, and like is what it is. But that's just how season 1 works, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, Go Hawks did a fantastic job. He just picked it up. He joined the league. He had no intentions of running a team. He picked it up and really flying colors. Him and Twisted and Dustin did really well. So I shout out to them, and shout out to, I mean, obviously I think they're MVP of that whole team. The 3 of them, Curl, Twisted. I mean, you go down that whole team, there's like 4 guys, but I think it was the back 2 between Hawks and Curl that really cemented that team together. So
yeah, well, and like they had Big Jan as a goalie.
He stepped up huge.
That dude came on hot at the end, man.
He did.
Yeah, but they needed in the beginning. They didn't have a goalie, right? All season.
That's true. They had Dustin in that.
Carlson amazing, and then Big Jan.
No. Carlson got traded, but that's
what? He's on the roster, dude.
He's still on the roster, man.
No, he got traded from Leicester to Everton when Leicester threw out players, So just at the end there so it was Big Jan who stepped up at the end for them, and arguably, it's just tough because that draw is so crucial. It's not like it was Jan's fault that goal went in. It was that game that killed them. And broke my hopes and dreams of seeing the final game,
Yeah.
So, but anyway, great season to Everton. Nothing but good vibes for that team moving into the second season.
They got some big decisions to make about contract extensions and who they're going to go after. Because them, like us, we're going to lose a lot of key players probably. Not a lot. I mean, they'll lose at least 1 or 2 key players.
But they still have their core. That's the big thing.
Yeah, exactly. So do we. But just going, you're still the core. Obviously, it's great when you have the cores that we do. But it's you're still going to lose a key player too, and it's do you replace them with volume, or do you try and go after a similar type player? So they have some interesting decisions to make, just as we do going into the season.
For sure.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how they are next season, man. Go Hawks has a lot of work on his hands. That's it.
Well, with that being said, let's get to the champions, the London. This was just Spurs League in hindsight. They told us so. Blah, blah, blah. Make a post. Absolutely triggering the league.
And then win the league.
And then win the league. And then post again, triggering the league again. So.
Hashtag SBH. Shoutbox heroes.
Shoutbox.
Yeah. Exactly, dude.
Hey man, they
The
trash
Shoutbox
talk and they
heroes.
backed it up. You're as good as you're trash talking. It's the ones that could back up the trash talking that make a difference. Okay, here's the turning point right away. That Flyers trade, absolutely 100,000,000% that Flyers trade, because once you guys knew that you had a firm goalie back there, it was smooth sailing for you guys.
It took pressure off the midfield,
Oh.
for sure.
That's my turning
100%.
point. I want to get to you on his last. Alonzi, go.
What can I say? Every time we played them, they had our number. Yeah, we tied them the one time, and yeah, we did shut them down well defensively, but every time I went against them, just gave them the ball. Even you want to say that every time we played them. Here you go, Tottenham. Here's a nice breakup for you. There you go, buddy. You scored. Oh, it's like, yeah.
Rebounds.
You guys are great. You guys are a good team, but you have lost games that you guys could have did better on, and you guys aren't perfect, no, but you guys are a great team, and you deserve the championship. I think you guys tied in points with Everton.
Yeah, it was just goal differential, but that last game they played a crappy lineup. I
was at center back. Yeah, me and Slomes were at center back holding the fort down.
Yeah.
Troke was in goal. Yeah, it was a fun time.
It was like a carnival ride. But
yeah, we just wanted to have some fun.
Well, you guys had a great season, man. We said it from the beginning that you were ranked number one, and at the end, you're ranked number one. And I give a lot of kudos to Dell for scoring how many goals?
35.
He almost had double the second person in the league, and he didn't play one of the games. And that's a game he definitely. It was, again, I'm not going to go back into depth, but we had the lineup issues or whatever. Like, we had a 2-2 draw versus City, and Dell didn't play. Like, all right, you don't think if Dell plays that game, we don't win that game? Like, come on, we win that game. You know what I mean? Slomy wasn't in that game either. Like, if Slomy and Dell are in that game, we win that game against City easily, and then it doesn't really matter. I mean, obviously, hindsight 2020 doesn't really matter. My turning point in the season, gonna have to throw it out to my boy here. Something that's a little different that most of the league didn't really know about was the mastermind himself. My if there was ever a coach on this team, it would be between me and him. Arsene Wenger himself, the boy T. Slomy. We in preseason when we played you guys, the first game we had like an issue before the preseason tournament, anything like that. And me and Slomy Slomes was like, he's seen something that I didn't really see because I got caught up in people making mistakes. And Slomy was like, yo, we have to change the formation. And he gave the reason why we changed the formation. And we realized that the way we play a 4-3-3 attack just really exposes people. And that was Wenger coming up with that himself. That just wasn't my idea at all. It was something that really didn't cross my mind. I didn't even think it was the formation at all because we'd been playing Slomy and Dell up top for so long. And then after that, it really opened up.
Can I throw in my chip on your 4-3-3 and why? Just from like my goalie's point of view. I love my camera, dude. I see everything from the goalie's camera. But the 4-3-3 and why it went so well is because you guys had a strong midfield that when you won the ball back, there was no stopping that counterattack. I said that from the first podcast. The second I saw you guys, that first game, I was like, their counterattack's going to be probably the best in the league because their midfield could win the ball back so easily. And it's just the passing is. So that that formation fits you guys so well. It really does.
The biggest thing that it allowed, I mean, which you've seen when I was playing in the games earlier in the year, you've seen the through balls I was putting over the top. I was playing in-air through balls this year that literally nobody else in the league was playing because of the run that majority Slomy was making. Slurm's means been playing, and he's seen every time I touched that ball and made a little bit of space, he would make that run along the back line. And if you're in your own, that's the only time they really work in FIFA. If you're in your own half and you're playing a retardedly long through ball with the curve, that's really the only time they're going to work this year. Anytime other like the in-air through ball is pretty bad. But dude, as soon as he did that like Dell would just run by the other center back, and then dude, it was like that was pretty much all she wrote right there. So that the turning point for me, obviously, like I said, comes in the preseason. Sloan's coming up with that was just huge for our team because the two striker just wasn't going to work on 11 on 11 it seemed for us. And as soon as we did that, like you said, it just exposed everything. It made everything so much easier for us.
Hey, in my defense, I was proud of this. Me, Alonzi, and Tom, we didn't let you guys score on a direct shot the whole season or the whole the last 2 games, like the important ones. It was like a rebound goal, and then two rebound goals and a sweat for that third game. I mean, that third game, whatever, like that we had a score. But dude, I could have sworn Dell was gonna. I like relived that moment. I was like, oh, Dell's just gonna go cheeky and go short side, but he sweated it, caught me out. But you guys were
Rocky Balboa, dude.
Rocky Balboa is the better striker.
You were looking like Mason the Lion Dixon, just getting punched around in the ring.
I'm throwing subs at everyone. I'm throwing subs at Dell and Rocky and
I'll say right now, I'll give it up to you boys, Etsy and Snipe Shot, for being undefeated all season. Yeah. You guys, they never lost.
And J-Claws too. That was a great pickup.
Yeah, I did.
J-Claws too, 100%.
The other turning point you can argue is kind of when I realized a lot of things, and I didn't play and let Claus take over Cam when I realized my schedule, and Claus did a hell of a job. I mean, it's Claus. You guys know Claus. He's a game freak, man, and he's staying on next year. So everybody, you can go somewhere thinking if you're hoping to get him. And once he plays a few games with me in clubs, and I just help him with his positioning a little bit, he'll be extremely more deadly because he already sees the game.
Shout out to Claus, he's my Rocket League buddy, and we're doing pretty well right now. So shout out to him. Yeah,
y'all gotta show Alonzi, if I'm not getting a title in a competitive video game, you're not getting a title. Sorry, bro.
Much. just like LA and VG. Yeah.
Over, dude. Whatever. I don't even want to get into the whole LA situation. That was stupid.
Should we just jump to
yeah, okay, so now what we're gonna get into is we're gonna have team of the season, and then we're gonna do the much anticipated player awards. Hotly debated player awards. But I'm gonna start off with my team of the season. There is no team of the season, like, officially. This is just the Beyond the Pitch crew doing what are. Yeah. So I'm going with 3 in the back. I'm putting myself in net. I've been a pretty nice guy for the most part, but I'm going to be a little selfish here and put myself in the net for team of the season. But my back 3 includes Mr. Alonzi himself, Go Hawks, and Saka. I think those 3 were really good. And then I have 5 in the midfield. I got Lamb at CDM. I mean, the backbone of Leicester. And then this is where it kind of gets fuzzy with the positioning, but forgive me. It's not perfect. But I have B-Brawler, and did fantastic work for City. I have Bruch, also did fantastic work for City. Even though he was more of a goalie, he still did wonders in the midfield. Could have easily been nominated for Midfielder of the Year. And then I have Twisted and Iwana. They're both cams. I understand that. But I think those 5, Lamb, Twisted, B-Brawler, Bruch, and Iwana, I think those deserve their own midfield shout-out. And then top 2, I have Sis from Everton, and obviously Dell from Tottenham. That's my team of the year. I don't know, one of you could do yours.
I can go. Yeah, I did the same lineup you did, same formation. For goalkeeper,
what a surprise!
I did pick the man himself, the Italian Greek goddess. Vibes.
Got it.
The goalkeeper of the year, I would say, in my heart. You did well. You did very well, man. Congratulations all season.
Thank you.
I did 3 in the back. I'm tooting my own horn, and I put me in the middle. Yes, because I did have a great season, boys. I scored 3 goals as a defenseman, so yeah.
I wonder if that was the most goals for a defender.
Well,
if we had a stat page, cough.
Okay, let me just finish this. Okay, so I did 3 in the back. I did, what do we have here? Okay, I did Saka because Tom did very well once he was beside me, and what a hell of a partner. And I did put K-Mac. That did do very well for you guys on the Spurs. I did 5 in the mid with Big Lamb being the center defensive mid. On the left, I got the silent Semple, which didn't get a lot of goals, but he had a great season.
He saved that win. He saved.
Oh yeah.
We had if it wasn't for Semple's low-driven shot to the rebound, if he didn't take that shot, they wouldn't have scored versus us. That probably would have been a 1-0 game. So, good job. I like that pick. I like that pick, Alonzi.
Oh yeah. On the other wing on mid, I gave it to my boy, which did have a great season, and he is undefeated, Snipe Shot, which was underplayed on the Spurs, and when he was played, you guys won, and you did well on mid. I do have you wanna on center mid, like just the middle of the mid. I mean, it's not formation; it's a weird one, but because you did have a great season and you know your soccer, you know how to play soccer, and you're smart, and yeah, you really carried that team well, very well, and you guys won the championship. And yeah, I got Twizzlid as the cam. Guy's a beast. Guy's a beast. Guy's a beast. And then my two strikers, I do have Dell. Yeah, 35 goals. Why not? And I did give it to Navarro, which is in second place for goals. Uh, yeah, he didn't have a lot of goals against good teams, but if
19 goals is still.
Yeah, but if we did have a better midfield core, he would get the ball more and probably get more goals. But yeah, that's my top 11 for the team. If I didn't say you, like Birch and everybody, you guys had great seasons too, but I just had to spit out 11, and that's it.
All right, on
Good
you,
job,
Iwana.
boys.
Solid 11s. So obviously, I think my formation's a little different than you guys. I don't know. I only went with one forward. So goalie, of course, vibes. I think the only other person that even would get a thought of consideration would be Flyers.
Yeah.
Just for the amount of games. There was a couple of good goalies, but they didn't have the amount of games. But vibes is the clear cut number one. Defender wise, I also went with Alonzi and Soccer in the back, but I also threw one out to Extreme Curl. I thought he was extremely solid for them. He was one of the players that really frustrated any time we had a chance against Everton. Definitely played
Great
good.
pick, man. Great pick.
To me, I mean, maybe I'm a bit biased here, but I really don't care. HJ, HF, have Joke have fun. Our left back played left back like every game for us, man. Just was so solid, dude. It was hard to get down the wing on him. Just made incredible tackles. Passing got a lot better second half of the year. Midfield, gonna go with Jay Carlos. Honestly, nah, bro. I'm just kidding. You suck. Like, nah. So my midfield is gonna throw Claus there at Cam. Just because, Claus did a hell of a job after coming in, and he there wasn't too much. He plays different than I do in a way, but the team was still scoring goals. We were still producing, so it all works in the end. Lamb, of course, in the midfield. I don't know how you couldn't. Bruch played everywhere, and you could really slot him in anywhere on these two seasons, but I threw him in the midfield. Tamar, I threw in there too. He was extremely solid. Extremely solid. A lot of, just great defensively. Made simple passes, really kept the team going. Got to throw Slemmers McKenzie in the midfield as well. Just, he's another one. He played striker, he played midfield, he played on the wings, but I threw him in the midfield. I didn't put myself in there just because the lack of games that I played. And I didn't feel like I played enough games to put myself on there. And then there's only one forward in the league, really, to me. It's just Dell. I don't even think it's... that's the only reason I put him, is just because there's such a big gap in what he did to what the other forwards did, that I decided, I mean, if he's going to just be the only striker in Spurs, might as well be the only striker on the team this season, too. Because he'll score 40 goals for that team, too, while he's at it.
Oh, for sure. What a season, man.
Well, with getting to the forwards being the only forwards, I think this is a good transition to go into the awards of the show. Ooh. So the way this worked, honestly, I don't want anyone to hate. I know people are still going to hate regardless, but I did everything this season to ensure the longevity of this, because people like having a podcast. People like being able to almost hear their name, the chance of hearing their name. People like being able to be nominated for an award. So I tried my best and try to make this as fair as possible. So the way this worked was I did 5 awards. I thought of 5 awards. I did best forward, best midfielder, best defender, best goalie, and then best in the league, MVP. And the only way you could get elected to go to MVP if you win your respective category. So let's just get the best forward. And the 5 nominees...
One second, sorry. Let's give it the league champions first.
Oh, yes. You're right, Alonso. Yeah. I'm getting too excited. With the champions of Season 1, congratulations, Tottenham Hotspurs.
Oh.
Little frustration in those claps there, Alonzi. little frustration in there.
Absolute audio destroyers.
Pretty much.
Season 1 champions. And I forgot. Right before we get into the awards, these awards were elected by the managers. We did not do community voting because 8 teams too small, so we just left it up to the management. I felt like that was pretty fair, and that's how this worked. So, LG Best Forward of the Year, Season 1. The nominees were Navarro 21. I don't know how to say this guy's name. Sizz. I'm just going to call him Sizz. Sizzlock 09?
Sizzlack. Sizzlack, I think it is.
Let's call him the Sizzler.
The Sizzler.
The Siznish.
Mr. Delano Roosevelt himself. Big money. Sheik 90, our young man, and then I had Slomny. I don't know, dude. I butcher these names all season.
Slurms McKenzie. It's just that you add an M. I mean an N. There's no N in his name. It's just Slomy.
Slomy.
It's either Slomy or just call him Slurms McKenzie, man.
Slurms.
Slurms McKenzie's easy.
Just gonna call him Slurms.
Just call him Slurms. Exactly. That's fine. Slurms is good.
So we have Dallas, the Sizzler, Navarro, Young Man Sheik, and Slurms. The winner. Alonzi.
Oh my god.
The one, the only, absolutely fairest Delano Roosevelt. Congratulations, Del, the first ever Best Forward of the Year with 35 goals, 8 assists. Absolutely deserved. Well deserved, my friend.
I mean, if Dell's on Everton or Liverpool, you guys probably win the league. Let's just be realistic about that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, 35 goals, 8 assists. That's just unbelievable contribution to
Guy's got 8 goals, still doesn't pass. Just imagine if he passed. That's just a nice little inside joke between Spurs there.
I mean,
just like the new kids say, he was dumb lit.
All right.
Alonzi might be fried calamari right now. He might be fried calamari.
So yeah, again, congrats, Del, for winning Best Forward of the Year. Well deserved.
Congrats, man.
Now this one, the midfield one, which was my personal favorite. So there was, again, all of these except for the MVP is 5 nominees. The nominees were Snipe Shot for going undefeated and absolutely filling in that midfield. Matt 139 for having the most assists in the league. Black Mamba and the most numbers. Black Mamba from Chelsea, and then B Brawler and Twisted. The winner is Twisted. Congratulations, Twisted.
Look, congrats to Twisted. I'm just throwing this out there, man. Like, yo, no love for.
Hey, yo, this is like Kanye right now.
The defensive mids. Yeah, sorry to interrupt and all, but dude, some of these CDMs had some of the best seasons of all time, all time, hands down. But just I don't know. I think there should have been a little bit more love to some of the defensive-minded middies that were just
shafted. You said shafted.
Literally, just screwed. Just no love for you guys. Just know that.
If you look at the goals, Twizzler took it.
I mean, I think Twisted. Personally, I think Twisted would have won it anyway. But I agree. It's good to be nominated, right? So right now, Dell has won Forward of the Year. Twisted has won Midfield of the Year. Let's get to the defenders.
Congrats.
Congrats to both of them. Let's get to the defenders. The nominees were the Extreme Curl from Everton, K. McDonald from Spurs, Go Hawks from Everton, Go Hawks from Everton,
Solid.
HJ. I don't know what's his nickname you use. HJH.
My man, Half Joke was in the nominations. Yes, the whitest person you'll ever meet in your life.
And then our boy Alonzi. Now the winner is. Someone give me a drum roll. Thank you. Alonzi 401.
Woo!
This crooked election, this rigged media.
Rigged media.
Skewing votes for Alonzi instead of HJ. I'm done.
Yo, I love the voting and again, this was just up to the management. HJ didn't receive a vote. I'm sorry.
Illegal immigrant management's illegal voting.
Take gut Alonzi just a little more,
Yeah.
Congrats Alonzi. Congrats Alonzi on winning Defender of the Year. Not forward. You're not a forward. Defender of the Year. Well deserved, my friend. I mean, finished with 11 clean sheets and 3 goals is fantastic, buddy. Well deserved.
Thank you. Appreciate the award.
And the one
had a great season.
So the 3 of them, Dell, Twisted, Alonzi, are all up for MVP right now. That's how we did this. Whoever won your respective thing, you move on to the MVP. Let's get to goalies. The nominees were Brooch Boy 900 for Manchester City.
You should be nominated for every position.
I mean, should be, honestly. He could be. He really could.
Roots is just
Flyers, the winning goalie for Tottenham, game-changing goalie. Sparkplug, you had to give Sparkplug a nod for sticking around. He had the second most saves in the league. I mean, he got butchered the whole season, but really. And then Real Demon for playing most of the season with the Spurs. And then,
he took a beating on Chelsea too.
And then myself. And then myself. And the
Mr.
winner
Vibes.
is...
Hold on.
What?
I got to do the drum roll.
Wow, this is the weakest drum roll out of the 4.
Well, this is like the least surprising result.
Yeah, 571.
He deserves
It's
it.
rigged.
I mean, if there's one thing we could also add to them goalies is that the meme award would definitely go to Demon.
The award.
The man who will make a triple save and then just when somebody shoots from 30 out, stand in the center of the net and not dive until the replay.
Oh no.
To the kickoff.
Wait, hold on. Excuse me, before we get to MVP, which was won by one vote, let me say, let's give our Between the Pitch round of applause for Yusuf, Season 1 Beyond the Pitch MVP for roasting Barris in the chat.
I've never seen somebody get blown out so hard in my life.
Congrats, Yusuf.
He's the Shoutbox MVP.
The Shoutbox MVP.
You know, like, we're scouting Yusuf really hard now. He was on our TC and we traded him, but after a performance like that, he might just have to come back to Spurs because when you're putting up big wins like that in the shot box and just establishing dominance.
That was probably one of the biggest
worthy,
W's I've ever seen in an LG shot box. That was funny.
Easily the highlight of season 1.
Highlight of season 1. Okay.
He typed the snipe symbol.
Congrats to Dell, Twisted, Alonzi. I'm not gonna say myself. It's just shitty. But
congrats to you, Vibes.
Thank
for
you.
being carried by
Alonzi.
And soccer.
And Saka. Saka didn't get a nomination. I'm sorry, Saka. But it is what it is.
Election. Rigged media.
Rigged media. You got my team of the season, okay?
Oh, if I'd say top D would be me and Tom. I wouldn't just say me.
Oh, what a guy. What a guy.
Congrats to Tom, too.
Congrats to Tom. Round of applause. Dude, this is going to butcher my audio. Anyway, MVP. The most valuable player. This really came down to one vote. No joke. I was rigged media. Okay, so the nominees again. Vibe71, Liverpool starting goalie. Dell, Roosevelt. I don't know. I tried to think of something clever on the spot there. That was bad. Whatever. Spurs, obviously the greatest goal scorer ever. Blah blah blah. Dell, Twisted, and Mr. Alonzi. And the winner by winning one vote. And season 1 MVP goes to the one, the only, Dell. Congratulations, Dell. Well deserved. 35 goals, 8 assists. Unbelievable.
He deserved it.
He really did.
People definitely voted with like just their sheer anger instead of voting with their head because like there's no way he could have 40% more or 45% more goals than the person in second, be 1 assist off the assist lead, and then even be this close. The only person who even should have got votes probably was Vibe. And it's just, it's like Everton, like alternative facts here. Everton's not extremely salty about how the way the season went down. So obviously they're going to vote for their own guy. It's just, this is how it is, dude.
Alonzi came in with 1 vote, and that was my vote. Disclaimer, I did not vote for myself in MVP. I felt like that'd be super cheap because, like, Dell is in a management, and, like, that would just be crappy. So, Alonzi, you got my vote. Out to you, buddy. And then it just came down to one. It literally came down to the last vote. So congrats, Dell. Well, honestly, very well deserved. And on finishing on that note with the award show, boys, thank you two. I just want to give a special shout out to you two. Alonzi, just to start with you, thank you for starting this up with me. We had big plans when this first started. I always wanted to do a podcast, and you were my first pick. So thank you for letting this happen. Appreciate this.
Thank you for having me, man. It was a pleasure. And I hope we do this again in season 2. Continue our Beyond the Pitch beautiful masterpiece.
And
we should definitely do some off-season update. We can do like a off-season update podcast and things like that when big things happen.
For sure. And you wanna thank you for giving your insightful championship experience on this podcast. You were a delight to have. The three of us worked very well together. It is hard to get three people who me and Alonzi know each other very well, but to have someone very new come in and work so well was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for being on the show.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. You did a great job.
Appreciate it.
And
great job all around.
Yeah, great job all around. So the only update that I have for everyone listening is that the timeline will come out posted by the weekend. So we're recording this on Wednesday, so it might be out before this is uploaded. We're recording this on Wednesday, so Simba just messaged us in the owner's chat, said it will be out by the weekend. So that'll be the timeline. And thank you everyone for listening. And if you were a hardcore listener and listened to every single minute of every single show, you have my absolute respect. Really, you do. And anyone have anything else to say before we send her off?
Great season, guys. Everyone all around. It was a pleasure. Thank you guys for listening to us babble on about how the season's going to go. Thank you, Liverpool, for having me. Great job, guys, on the ownership there. Great job everywhere all around. And, yeah, I'll see you guys all next season. That's it.
This is your last chance as a champion of season 1 to say whatever you want. I'm giving you the A-OK. I know I kind of restrict you sometimes, but you deserve whatever words could come out of your mouth at the end. That's not cursing profusely. I still have an intern. I still have a internship on the line because of this. So please.
So yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to remove some of the stuff that was coming out of your guys' mouth earlier. And I kept it clean, but so I mean, all I'm gonna say is that we we knew we were gonna win. Yeah, we were cocky about it. We knew our play would back it up. There is some talent in the league, but we knew this season, at least for sure, that the talent was gonna be too spread and people didn't know enough about the game and things like that to build a team that could really compete with us. Dell, Slurms, these are my boys. We knew we were going to win the league. We called this from the beginning. We called Dell was going to be the leading scorer. We knew Slurms were going to hold it down when we needed to. It's just, I mean, it was predicted. Everybody can be mad about it, but, season 2, it seems like it's the whole league versus Spurs. It seems like everybody, which we love to hate, honestly. We love it when you guys hate us, so just see what people do in the off-season. It's been fun. We'll keep it going. Then just take it from there. Everybody can suck it. Jay Carlos is still close. Jay Carlos is still one of the worst purchases since Torres, to Chelsea.
Oh,
so,
God.
Just throwing that out there.
Anyway, I'm going to send us off. Thank you, everyone, again for listening. You guys made my dream of making my own podcast true. Congratulations, Spurs. You told us so. We could all suck at one. Sadly. And
you told us so.
From the boys, from Beyond the Pitch, it's been an absolute pleasure for Season 1. We'll see you in Season 2. Alonzi, send us off, please.
Thank you very much, boys. It's been a slice. Beyond the Pitch.
# Young Chic.
# Young Chic. Peace, everybody.
# Jay Carlos.
Have a good off season.
Beyond the Pitch.